Well, hi, this is Custom Works and I'm Clint Allen. We got some photos and some videos here of lifting boxes and putting the cab on the Cobra POWERSTROKE project. Once again, for the new viewers, the reason why we are doing it in this fashion is to show the average person at home that they're able to do this. Wouldn't make any difference if we went over by the main shop and used the big lifts and stuff like that. Doesn't make any sense since you don't own that. So the pictures are going to be of the cab going on, narrated, and I'm going to show you a simple way to lift a box off of your truck. It's coming off my trailer, but anyways, you get the gist of it. Anybody here that's new, welcome aboard. Come on, join the family. Down in the description is our video playlist, making it real simple for you. All the sensors on a 7.3 POWERSTROKE, what are they, what do they do, where are they located, can you test them? Our debunking videos, our hands-on videos, our tech talk videos, all down below. Easy for you to access. So let's get going. Well, I show you these pictures here to remind everybody that I have extreme experience in lifting and moving large products. In this particular case, mobile home, and yes, that's me in there. So if you don't feel comfortable with this, because I'm using 2 engine hoists as a crane basically, don't do it. Don't risk your life. But here are the pick points that I used off of the base of the cab, and we have one engine picker on one side, and on the opposite side we have an engine picker too. Here, you know, it's important that the hoist is level. It's got to be level, otherwise you're going to tip the whole thing over. Now this side too, I used a stick up in front in order to keep stability, and you'll see later in the video, or in the pictures I should say, of why that's there. So we're basically slowly lifting this up, the cab up, and taking off the rollers. And when I removed the rollers, I didn't just set them aside, I put them actually in the cab because it's all balanced out. Here I jacked up the rear end, removed the tires, rims, and set the rear end down on a jack, and hooked up a hoist and a cable on a winch to pull it back. Now I hooked up to the axle and to the jack as well, so it's pulling both of them, and then I just used a jack to steer it underneath the cab as it's coming in, and that's how I lined up the bolt holes going down to the body mounts of the vehicle. Once again, if you're not comfortable doing this, or you've not worked with large objects, I wouldn't suggest getting or doing this. So this is one of many, many ways of doing this. Now you'll see that board, I'm using that to cock the front end way up to make itself over the engine. And here's another view from this side as it's being pulled underneath. Now I put the tires back on, and I slowly start lowering the front end board back down level, and I used some pieces of string just to line it up to where the body mounts are and where the holes are in the cab. And now we're just in the process of lowering it down, and I'm setting the rear end first down, and then I set the front end down. I used the rear bolts through the cab as I was bringing the rear end down to line it up, and then on the front end I used 2 pieces of string and a washer, and that lined up the front end because I'm able to move the cab ever so gently to wherever I needed it. So there she is sitting down right where it needs to be. I mean, I hit the bolts and the cab mounts right on the head. I mean, I didn't have to do any adjusting whatsoever. So all we had to do from here is start doing the bolting down and the torquing of the body mounts. Some more pictures here of the finished set down with the engine hoists removed. And now we've got a truck that we're ready to start putting together here. You'll see that on the cab there, I didn't paint the edges where the trim goes, and that was done on purpose. So now onto the box. There's many ways of removing a box. I mean, 4 people can grab the box and remove it off of a truck, but if you're working alone, here's one of the ways of doing it. Basically, where the cargo holds are in all 4 corners, I used some heavy-duty semi-truck nylons that was able to give me the ability to put weight where I needed it. I could choke it up in one area. I could balance it out better, basically. And this actually, believe it or not, this works on a 6-foot bed, 7-foot bed, 8-foot bed, makes no difference. It'll pick up any of the beds. And it's not stressful. I mean, these boxes don't weigh hardly anything. And you'll see me moving it into the shop here shortly. No stress whatsoever. Now on this particular box, it really didn't make a difference if I banged the sides up or anything when I was moving it off. And the reason being is that I ordered 2 brand new complete full sides. The box itself just had a little bit of rust on it, and from the collision there was one side that was banged up. So for what I can get a full panel for each side for, they're coming off and brand new ones are going on. It just is going to save me a ton of labor hours instead of trying to weld in new little patch panels and silliness like that. So this was the easiest way to go about getting the box back on. My plans were actually to buy a different box. Last year I looked up boxes. There were some for $800 to $1,000. Now mysteriously the prices have doubled, if not more, for the same boxes. Matter of fact, the couple places that are around by me had the same VIN number on the box, and the prices had doubled and gone over that price factor. And I even called them up and I said, hey, why is this the same box and now it's double the price? And of course, everything has increased. Okay, but your inventory cost hasn't increased. You bought it one time, but you can't argue with that. So easy way you can see here, very easy way to remove a box off of a truck if you want to do some type of repairs or replace the rails underneath. I mean, look at how easy that is to move. Obviously, I'm on concrete. It's not going to work that way if you're on the ground. Biggest thing here is that you can move it wherever you need it to have it, and it's very easy to do. And here I'm going to go throw it on some stands. This is the only time you're going to see me using these tripod stands. These things are dangerous. As I've mentioned in other videos before, use 6x6, 8x8, or 10x10 wood cribbing when you're working underneath vehicles. There is no way that that's going to fail. I would never ever get underneath a vehicle using one of these metal stands. You're just asking to have yourself killed or crushed or whatever the case may be. So I'm just going to set it down on the stands so that way I can go through and start removing all of the massive amount of spot welds to get the side panels off. And the underside is in immaculate condition, doesn't need any work underneath there, thank goodness. But the ease of movement with using a good quality engine hoist, you can do a lot of stuff with it. But once again, third time, if you're not comfortable, if you've never done this before, heed the safety warning. This is dangerous. A lot of stuff can go wrong. And I do have the experience and a bunch of pieces of paper on the wall saying that I know what I'm doing. But I'm being careful here and letting you know that, once again, fourth time, if you're not comfortable, don't be messing with it. Have a professional do it. So I hope you learned something today, and you take it easy, and you have a good day.